Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry it's like dark, but I wanted to film before it got too dark. It's like 4 in the afternoon and in the winter, you know, it gets dark early. So I wanted to film before it got too dark and I had to turn on a light, save energy. Y'all get used to it. Today I'm going to be talking about my sustainability journey, and I've shared a couple times on this channel how I got here, but never fully in depth. This is going to be kind of the short version, so if you want to hear a more detailed version or a more personal, like less about the sustainability, more about me kind of version, let me know below. But to keep a long story short, I started at the beginning of 2020. I had just made the decision that I wanted my New Year's resolution to be a little bit more sustainable. Actually, if I remember correctly, those were not my exact words. My words were, I want to become a zero waster, which I'm now learning is just about impossible. I'm not sure why this was my goal or why I became obsessed with it, but that's what happened. And I decided my best way to go about this was to make a few lifestyle changes each month. So here's my list of everything I did every month. Let's go. So when January came, I was getting really stressed out by the amount of yogurt containers I was producing. I would have yogurt probably once to twice a day, every day for breakfast and lunch. And I didn't even realize the environmental impact the yogurt itself was having, but I could see very, very physically these containers in front of me. I was super concerned about the waste of the containers because I wanted to become a zero waster, which I'm realizing even if you become a zero waster, you could still have a huge footprint based on the foods you eat and the ways you get around. Anyways, I decided I would start making my own yogurt from milk, which ultimately doesn't help the cows, and the milk cartons are still made with a layer of plastic. If you watched my few videos ago, maybe the last video, I talked about items that can't be recycled, and one of those in my community is milk cartons. Yet I thought for some reason switching to a milk carton was better than staying with these plastic tubs. So I spent hours in the kitchen trying to make my own yogurt. And this is so embarrassing to think about now. Although it was a little bit fun, it was also extremely time consuming, and it turns out I had the wrong mindset. I thought saving the planet meant constantly working, constantly standing in the kitchen trying to make something, constantly picking up everyone else's trash, and although those things might help, that's not the route we need to take. We need to go about this sustainably. There is an easier way to make a much bigger impact. So in February, we decided to stop using grocery bags, plastic grocery bags. And we already had a number of reusable bags. We didn't have to go out and buy any. But February was the month we decided to make a conscious effort to bring our bags with us to the grocery store. And I think we did well. It's definitely a habit that anyone can improve on. I'm sure everyone's had that day where they forget their bags when they go to the grocery store and they are very mad at themselves. But something that sounds so simple was actually one of the harder ones. And then when March came around, we didn't even need to bring bags because the pandemic happened and we had to start ordering online because we couldn't even leave our houses. And that itself was super frustrating because we had to consume all these plastic bags like everyone else in the world. The one thing is we did find ways to reuse our plastic bags just to help the planet a little bit more. And speaking of March, in March we decided to switch to cloth napkins and rags and reusable paper towels and stuff. Everything in the kitchen, I'm realizing you can make a lot of waste by just standing in the kitchen. Everything in the dining room, everything everywhere in your house can just really pile up. And also, of course, in March we switched to less driving because of the pandemic. That's a lot for March. That's a lot for 1 month. We started the month focused on producing a lot less paper waste, and then when the pandemic hit, we got bored. So to entertain ourselves, we started cutting up beach towels that we no longer used and made little rags out of them, so that instead of having a thing of paper towels in the kitchen, we just used these rags to clean up spills of water or whatever. This meant we used absolutely no extra resources because we already had the beach towels that weren't going to be used anyways. During the pandemic, we also found a bunch of reusable napkins that we just had in the cabinet, and we put our paper ones away. I don't even know where they are anymore. There probably are some. We didn't use that excuse just because we had them to use them. I do say use what you already have, but not in that sense. And now we don't have any paper towels, any paper napkins, no paper in our kitchen, and it makes me so happy. I love it. We also started trying these reusable paper towels, which are just like paper towels, but they're made out of a more sustainable material, and they can run through through the washing machine. So you take them and you wash them, and they can take, I think, like up to 10 uses before they're really falling apart. And that was kind of cool, but we didn't love them. So I think we are just gonna stick to our reusables because they are indefinitely reusable. Also, with the reusable paper towels, my brother didn't realize that you're supposed to reuse them, so we ended up throwing them away because he was not acknowledging that no one else was. And they ultimately were helpful for messier situations. One of the biggest reasons we didn't keep using them was just because they didn't motivate us to use the rags that we had made. And because we drove very little in March. Actually, I don't think I was in the car in March. I don't think I got into the car until May. That really helped. In April, we decided to stop drinking seltzer and soda, whether that was from cans or bottles. I guess you could just say this was for fun. I'm not gonna say seltzer is necessarily super unsustainable. We just kind of were looking for something to do. In fact, seltzer comes in fully recyclable packaging if you include like the cardboard if you're getting the can. However, my family was consuming seltzer at an unsustainable rate, and in order for my family to make any switch, I had to lead. I stopped drinking seltzer, and my mom stopped drinking seltzer, and now we're drinking like very little seltzer. We were drinking multiple cases a week, and now we drink like a case a month. Also, the other members of my family are more conscious of their consumption. People in my family, we also had the habit of just leaving a can open. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but if you're gonna leave a can of seltzer open, go get some water. It's so cool, like we just get water free in our kitchen. We have that privilege. It's amazing. And that means there is no reason for us to be buying packaged water or seltzer or anything. So May was the month we went vegan. At this point in the year, I knew there was more to do, but I wasn't sure what to do next. When May 1st finally rolled around, we said, what the heck, let's go vegan. At this point, there was no turning back. And I think I found this one to be the easiest out of all of the things I've done this year. Probably because I've just been staying home the whole time, and we don't really buy un-vegan food anymore, and we don't really buy non-vegan food anymore. And also just going vegan has made it just incredibly easy to lower my carbon footprint. I also spent a lot of time watching vegan YouTubers and on vegan Twitter, vegan TikTok, all that stuff, because it ensures you that you are doing the right thing. Now I'm more than 7 months strong. #vegan. And this also meant that I no longer had to make the yogurt that I was wasting all my time making since January. However, we definitely did do some experimenting with vegan yogurt, and we just let it go. In June, we started using Eco Nuts, which can be used as shampoo, laundry detergent, and a few other things. June was also the month I started my YouTube channel, so yay, here I am. I didn't get very active into it until later, but that's for later. So when June came along, I bought some Eco Nuts, as they were advertised to be both eco-friendly and multi-purpose. We have done a little bit of experimenting, but definitely still much more to do. I successfully made some shampoo from them, which was super cool. I also have plans to try washing my clothes in them, which I haven't done yet, but I definitely plan on it. So stay tuned. That'll probably come in 2021. Actually, it definitely will come in 2021. And that brings me to my second point, which was I started filming YouTube videos here on YouTube in June. And that's also beneficial to our planet because I'm spreading such an important message. In July, we decided it was important to be buying more local and organic produce. So every week we have started going to the farmer's market in town and buying vegetables that were locally grown, non-GMO, all that good stuff. The bonus, throughout the summer we walked there, just save on transportation. But speaking of transportation, I didn't include this in my script, but we also got a hybrid electric plug-in car thing. So that's been also really cool because we know we're helping the environment a lot by doing that. Now we have 2 hybrids. In August, we started bulk buying from bulk stores, and we looked into connecting our house to a solar farm. So when we started going to these bulk stores, we tried a few, and they've been open and closed in and out because of the pandemic, but I'm definitely planning on going there regularly when things are fully open again. We just wanted to try it out, really, and we did have to go out of our way a few times just because we don't live super close to many bulk stores. We were able to get dry goods such as rice, beans, quinoa, seasonings, teas. Like, we've been able to try a lot of stuff in bulk, which has been really awesome. We do live near a Whole Foods, which, yes, it's a chain store, but they have a lot of bulk bins, and they are an eco-minded chain. We really just focused on being as zero waste as possible, even when the stores were not fully open. We also connected to a solar farm this month so we can use more clean energy and support that business. I really suggest anyone who is curious, go try that, because it doesn't mean you have to do anything to your house. You don't have to cut down any trees, and you don't have to add anything to your roof. August was also the month I started to become a little bit more serious about YouTube. In September, we started making these vegan recipes, and that was fun, cool, sustainable of course, and meant we were buying a lot less packaged food. It also meant we had more choices and variety in proteins, which a lot of non-vegans complain about because they're like, there's not enough choices, it's all gross, it's all packaged, it's all processed. It's really not. You can make anything and it tastes really good. We eat them like every night. This really helped us avoid a lot of frozen packaged food. If you want to see any vegan recipes, please let me know in the comments below and I can get a video on those. In October, we started trying these laundry detergent sheets, and I think that's why we haven't tried the Eco Nuts yet, because we still had laundry detergent when we got the Eco Nuts, and then once we ran out, we started the detergent sheets. So that's basically the story. My dad actually bought them coincidentally. He wasn't really intentionally buying them for the month or anything, but it was the start of the month and we're like, let's do them. Let's use them for this month's eco activity. We found them to just work like any other detergent, and we were happy with the results. They produce a lot less waste. They don't come in a big bottle. They came in with a little like cardboard envelope, so I 100% recommend them. In October, we started trying loose leaf tea, which was super fun and good and tasted great. We bought it in bulk, of course, and it was not a hard transition at all. We already had both like tea ball strainer things that you put loose leaves in, and we had a press, so making tea was simple, and it reduced the amount of microplastics that we used and consumed. This tea doesn't taste any worse, it's not that special, it's just loose leaf tea. And if you didn't know, tea bags are actually filled with microplastics. So if you try to compost them, they won't fully compost. That's actually something we didn't learn till a little too late. We definitely tried composting tea bags a few times. That's okay, it's a learning experience. This whole thing is a learning experience, and that's definitely one of the best things you can do for the planet, is learn. In December, we switched to toothpaste, mouthwash, and bamboo toothbrushes. Overall, I guess you could just say I used more zero waste products, which for my birthday in September, I got those as sustainable gifts, and they were super cool, but I still had a working toothbrush, and I figured it wasn't time to switch until my plastic toothbrush was really a piece of trash, because like I said, use what you have and then make the switch. And the toothpaste and mouthwash refills come in compostable packaging, which is super cool, and it makes me feel like a real environmentalist, a real zero waster. It's super fun. So what have I learned? I've learned a lot. I've learned that there are a lot of simple ways to reduce a lot of waste. I know our carbon footprint has definitely lowered, and the amount of trash in a bag has gotten super tiny. We empty the trash a lot less often now, which is super cool to just see. It's so visible. If you want to hear a few more things that I did for my sustainable year, the blog post for this video will be linked in the description, so you can go check it out. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Hopefully this inspires you to go do something sustainable for your New Year's. Alright, until next time, peace.